Welcome to Speed Kolor, a podcast and YouTube channel about custom motorcycle culture. Be sure to subscribe and turn on notifications to get all the latest content. You can also follow Speed Kolor on Instagram. We hope you enjoy the show.
Well, hi there. Welcome to another episode of Speed Kolor. I guess welcome to another if you've been here before. And if you've been here before, thank you. I appreciate you. Hope you enjoy it. If you haven't been here before, then thank you for tuning in for your first episode of Speed Kolor. We appreciate you too. Today I'm with a gentleman. This guy and I are both in the Vintage Japanese Motorcycle Club, VJMC of Calgary. We met there and he invited me a while ago here to come and take a look at his shop. Very impressive shop. We're upstairs in the loft area right now. It's very impressive. It's pretty cool. So I came over, took a look at his shop, and I saw some of what he was doing and what was in his shop. And I heard a little bit of the background and some of the stories, and I thought, you know, this is the expansion I've been wanting to do in the custom motorcycle culture. You know, as many of you know, I'm a bit of a chopper head. I like that chopper stuff, but I want to cover more of the culture than just choppers. So, Kevin Brown, thank you for having me. Really appreciate it.
Good to see you, Bruce.
Kevin has some very cool bikes here. We're going to take a look at a few of them, and actually I'm hoping that this will be a 2-episode deal that we capture here today. So, to get started, Kevin, where are you from? Are you originally from Calgary? Did you migrate here like so many of us, or?
Yeah, pretty much. Migrated in '61.
Wow.
To Calgary here when I was 4.
Yeah.
So I'm told. I've seen pictures to prove it. Yeah, so we've been here a long time. We've moved to various parts. Lived in England for a year, in Edmonton for different 5-6 year stints back and forth and various stuff. But basically Calgary guy. So
cool.
I've seen it grow from like 350,000 people to, you know, whatever it is now, 1.5 million or something.
1.6, whatever
it is. Yeah. Big changes.
Good stuff. Education, did you go to school here?
Grade 6 graduate, you betcha. Yeah. Up till grade 11, right here in Calgary, Central Memorial. And then our family moved to England. Okay. And my dad was in the oil patch with a company called Nowsco. They're a service company in the oil patch. And so we went over there, and I wound up in the lower 6th form school there instead of grade 12. And it was really neat because there was a lot of motorcycle culture in England in the mid-early 70s that I was exposed to, and Cafe Racers was one of them, and that kind of got me interested in that. I was never allowed to own a motorcycle here in Canada, ride it. My parents said it was too dangerous, but we had motorcycles on some land that the family had, and that's where we kind of learned to ride.
Cool.
But
so how old were you when you moved back here?
18.
Okay. So then your post-secondary education was all here?
No. Basically, the year in England, turns out that the grade 11, 12 syllabus in North America doesn't mesh too well with lower and upper 6th form education in England. So basically, it treated it as a year, a gap year, like they do in Australia.
Right. And
when I moved back, I moved to Edmonton. My dad's sister, so my aunt was there, and I moved in with them and went to Harry Ainley for grade 12. And then now you got to do something, so I liked drafting as a kid, so I signed up for drafting at NAIT in Edmonton and did that 2-year course. Yeah, a couple years drafting as a professional draftsman, structural draftsman.
Yeah.
And then ended up going to university, another 5 years of post-secondary stuff by the time I got my engineering degree.
In Edmonton University? Or?
Oh, just 1 year at U of A. I took computer science after the drafting. I thought that was what I should do. Turns out no. Who knew? A missing comma back then was killer to compile a program. It was really frustrating, right?
Yes.
So I ended up applying at UBC, U of S, U of C, and U of A to transfer into engineering. And there's a quota system on transfers into some of these programs, and I couldn't get into civil they'd had their computers, science guys, or how many spots were filled. But I accepted at the other three, and my folks had moved back to Canada in '81. So I just moved in with them for a year. Started my first of 4 years at U of C, and then,
Right.
finished things off there and graduated from there in '85. So
Cool. Good stuff.
structural engineer.
So you weren't allowed to have a motorcycle when you moved back to Canada, but now you have lots of motorcycles.
Well,
So
there's a bit of a correction
how-
there, Bruce. When I was living at home, I wasn't allowed to have a motorcycle.
Oh, okay.
So when I moved to Canada and they were in England, the first thing I did is bought a new motorcycle. Yeah, so it was a 75 Yamaha TX 500 twin, which I immediately put Clubman bars on it like Cafe Racer and stuff.
Right.
Yeah, so that didn't please them at all.
Cool. So how, I want to know, I mean, obviously, when I look around here and I see the different motorcycles you have, I find you to be very interesting because there's a cross between a passion and a mechanical need to know almost. You're an interesting mix of this mechanical side and this passion. How did this develop? How did it come about?
Well, nobody's really ever called me interesting, so I don't know, maybe put your glasses on again, Bruce. Maybe that's the problem here. My dad was very handy. He could build anything out of wood.
Right.
He wasn't a mechanical guy per se, but he could construct stuff. And so, when I was 9, I was in our garage shop building stuff by myself with the lathe, the radial arm saw, the jointer, the bandsaw, the drill press, and all that. So, yeah, I got pretty comfortable with wood stuff.
Right.
Right. And so, but with the motorcycles, I'm not super mechanical. I haven't had any real training or experience with that. I've done some of it. I've taken some courses on how to tune your BMW Airhead and do the maintenance and stuff on it for Manderworks here in town. And that. But anything like that, I'm not really good at it. And I can take things apart, as you've seen downstairs, that engine. Yeah, the reverse part of that isn't my forte. I'm more, being draftsman. Most people, I don't think of structural engineers as being creative, but I like the stylizing of motorcycles and cars and things. And this is kind of, the whole place here was based on a New York industrial loft kind of idea. So that was kind of where I, but I wanted to learn more about metalworking and stuff, so I've taken some training in that now.
Yeah, there is no question that you are about style.
Oh, nobody's accused me of that either, Bruce. You're 2 for 2 right now.
Well, it adds a lot of flavor to the episode. But anyway, no, it's the style here is fantastic, and
thank you.
The artwork, the things that you typically don't see.
Well, that's my wife's
in a shop, and you've explained that that's your wife's, and I know your secret behind that.
Yeah.
And I'm not going to give it away.
Okay. Yeah.
But it's tasteful, and it's different, and it's unique, which I guess me looking at the bikes you own, that spills over to the bikes. They are not typical, if you will. They're definitely a niche-y kind of thing. So
Well, that's where I'm a little bit adverse to the vintage Japanese motorcycle group, because almost everybody there wants to put it back to original.
right.
And I'm saying, that's great. You can show your mechanical skills, your painting skills, your aesthetic skills, all that. I'd like to be able to do all that, but I want to make it original, unique.
Right.
To show some design elements or a concept or whatever you want to call it. And so even your basic bikes, I do something to them. But I think if you've got the skills to do the restoration, you have to do that anyways when you customize something, say a chopper, but then you add the design flair and element and focus as well.
Right.
So that's where I'm a little bit adverse, because everyone's putting them in our club back to original.
And I think you and I share some
common
ground there.
Absolutely.
In that I know there's a lot of guys in the club who look at what I'm doing with, Yamaha XS 650 chopper. That is not what they would do. Yeah. And nobody frowns on anybody in that club. It's a great social club. And
it's a melting pot of folks, for sure.
Yeah, we have wonderful members and everybody's really good. But I'm sure there are some guys who look at what I'm building and go,
scratch their head?
Yeah, maybe not. Yeah. So.
Well, you'll like it at Atomic then. There's some choppers and really unique stuff there.
Cool.
Check that out.
Right on.
Yeah.
How long have you been a VJMC member?
I think I was there the sixth guy.
Oh, is that right? Okay.
When I don't even, was CVMG, Canadian Vintage Motorcycle Group. I was a member there, and I found those guys, boring and very, and if you didn't have a British bike, they didn't really want to talk to you.
Right. Very
closed. And so I was looking for another club, and I don't even know how I came upon the VJMC, but the first meetings were at Len's Den at the Ambassador Hotel on 16th Avenue in the basement. Great chicken wings, by the way. They're in good salads, too. Amazing. A real dive bar sort of thing.
Right.
And there was Wade and I think Bruce and Larry, and that might have been it. I'm thinking I missed somebody there. Yeah, so I, however I found out about it, I went to that. And Salt of the Earth, those guys there, Salt of the Earth.
Great group.
Can no wonder it's,
yeah.
I don't think we've lost too many members.
No, I don't imagine so.
Right.
It seems to be a pretty solid group. And the way Karen and I were welcomed is just unbelievable.
Yeah.
We've never joined a group like that where it was just that welcoming. Oh, repair guy is here. Well, sorry about that. We had to take a quick break there. The little overhead door issue, and the repair guy was here, so Kevin had to run off and do that. But we're back here now, and we were talking about VJMC and what a great group of people and what a great club and everything. And that's all good, and we've had Harvey from VJMC and Jill on
I saw that episode,
the podcast before, or YouTube, whatever it is. But I was going to ask you, I notice that you are not totally a hardcore Japanese guy. So there's some vintage Japanese here for sure, but there's also a bunch of other stuff, and there's Indian banner on the wall over there and Ducati on the other end of the shop. So you have mixed interests.
Yeah, I'm not, aligned or with any particular brand. I wave to Harley guys on the road. I don't care. If you're out riding, you're my kind of person.
Right.
Well, 2 wheels, 3 wheels, doesn't mean if you like the trike or you like the other 3-wheeled ones, what are they called? Spiders or the Can-Am kind of things. Get out there, push some wind, I'm for you.
There you go.
Right?
Good stuff.
Yeah. I'm probably one of the only guys in the club that hasn't really ridden a Japanese bike to the meetings.
Yeah.
Because my 350, like I had both, before I had this unit, I had, 7 bikes in my house. I had 4 in the garage on a lift, had 1 in my office, actually 1 in the music room, and then 2 in the bar, so I actually had more than that. And it's a lot more just displayed. Now that I got them here, I'm getting them riding again and stuff. And so the CB350 is to get that going.
Yeah, that one looks cool. That'll
the same as Peter's. 2
Yeah.
serial numbers apart, eh?
Oh, is that right?
Did you hear that story?
No.
Peter, he trolled me, actually. He's only a block from my house. Yeah. And I have to drive by his place to get out of the neighborhood. And one day, I don't know, 4 years ago, there was the new Kawasaki 900 sitting on his driveway. So I drove by, then I did a U-turn. I said, I got to see this guy. And started chalking bikes and that sort of thing. And then he saw my bikes and he saw the CB350 and he pulled out his registration. And his registration was serial number, one number different than my bike.
Wow.
And that was from the 70s.
Yeah.
74. Mine's a 73. He had a 73 as well. I said, well, that was close, Peter. I mean, if this was your old bike, I'd have to sell it to you because it's your old bike. I believe in karma.
Right.
And the bikes know certain people. Sort of like dogs. If you're a dog person, dogs know. Right?
There you go.
So he went looking for a 350 and he found one, I think it was in Edmonton. And he brought it back and it was one serial number the other side of the bike he had. So he had, say, 000 and I had 99.
Right.
99 and he had, 001, his other bike. So pretty unique.
It's surprising how they don't get very far away from where they started were originally, because even now a dealer will get VINs that are, if he gets several bikes in from the manufacturer, the VINs are going to be very close.
Oh yeah. Well, especially on the older bikes, when you say they're more local, have you looked at the mileage on a lot of the guys' bikes? Like mine's got 15,000 miles. Peter's 350's got 10,000.
Yeah.
A lot of them you buy them used, right? 3,000, 4,000.
Yeah.
They just didn't get rode that much, right? It was a lot harder back in the day because I didn't have a leather coat. I couldn't afford that. I had a windbreaker and a jean jacket, right?
Right.
Open face helmet, some garden gloves, and jeans. That was it. Bit of a rain suit from Canadian Tire, yellow bib, little slicker kind of thing, But so you couldn't do a lot of miles unless you're really committed.
And back in the day, 3,000-4,000 miles was actually a fair amount for some people.
Yeah.
It was repetitive short trips.
Oh yeah. Now we'll do 3,000 on maybe 4,000 on a 2-week bike trip.
Yeah. Cool. Now you do a lot of riding too, don't you?
I have. This year has not been particularly full of riding.
Right.
Still getting tugged in a lot of ways. Kids with houses, all of a sudden you're the go-to guy, right? My mom, her house, I'm the go-to guy. My other sister in town, the go-to guy. So you're kind of the Mr. Fix-It kind of guy. So that's interrupted some. And then, since we're kind of mostly retired, we do travel a fair bit. Yeah. And that, so got a week-long trip coming up at the beginning of next month, and then another 11-day trip down going to the West Coast Rally, VJMC Rally in California.
You mentioned that.
Yeah. So I think it's only a 4-day kind of thing, but I'll be down in that area for a week. Well,
and are you riding down or driving
down?
Well,
my sister's place, I keep a V-Strom.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, we were on my brother-in-law and I and a couple other guys used to, in April, load the bikes into a trailer, a car trailer, 4 bikes in it. And we'd haul them down to Redding, California, Northern California. Mm-hmm. And so we get some riding and get your skills up for the beginning of the season. We'd ride around there for a week. So a 2-day drive down there, ride around for a week, 2-day drive back. And you'd get a lot of miles on that way.
Right.
Right? Yeah, it was sort of, I know where I was going with this. So I had the V-Strom on one of those trips, and then I decided, my sister said, why don't you leave it down here? Because they had the shop. And I said, okay. So we were south of California somewhere, or south of San Francisco somewhere, and they were going to ride back for a day to Redding and then head home, and I rode to Vegas, left it there, and then flew back. So it's been there for about 7 or 8 years now. Still registered in Alberta.
I wanted to ask you, but I wasn't going to ask you.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Or maybe not. I don't know.
Or maybe not.
Yeah.
Good stuff. Well, I think what I want to do, if it's okay with you, you've got 2 bikes on display up here. I'd really like to talk to you about both of these because they're really unique.
They're different for sure.
Yeah. So we'd like to find out something about those, and maybe we can do that. That should pretty much wrap up the timing on this episode, and then we can go downstairs into the shop and get a look at some of what you're doing down there,
sure,
and make a second episode out of that. So
okay.
why don't we do that? Why don't I move the camera and stuff, and we'll get set up to look at these other bikes.
Copy that.
All right, sir. All right, here we are. We're still up in the loft. This is just kind of opposite of where we were sitting. And I apologize, lighting may not be ideal, but we're doing the best we can in a loft kind of situation here. This bike is amazing. Of course, being that I work for Honda, I have a little bit of a soft spot for Honda. But just a great bike, a very cool cafe racer. I like these small CC bikes, the smaller bikes. They're really cool and a lot of fun to ride. I've put a couple together, not to this level, but I've put a couple smaller ones together. And riding small CC bikes is a lot of fun.
Absolutely.
For short journeys, not necessarily going to Vancouver or something, but short stuff is really, really good. So, Kevin, I guess where did this start out? What did it start out as? And then maybe you can explain to us how it's evolved into what it is now.
Well, that story is pretty short because I didn't do all the mechanical on this. This motorcycle, it's actually a vintage a vintage racer. Mm-hmm. Raced down in the States. So at my sister's brother-in-law's shop in Vegas, they'd purchased this. I'm not sure if it was a direct buy or if it was a trade-in or something. And it would look like that there, white and silver. It was kind of a blah kind of setup. And this is actually the British would call it a Bitsa bike. So it's got a bit of this, a bit of that, and everything. So originally, this is actually classified as a 1968 Honda 250 vintage racer. Now I can't remember all this stuff since I've written down, so that's good. So it's got a CL175 donated the frame and clutch, the sloper motor, welded 1-liter deep sump, and 5-speed transmission. That was the CL175. And then the CB200 cylinders bored to 250, 246, cylinder head, cranks, rod, clutch, and tachometer. That was from the CB250 or 200. CB350, the forks, rebuilt for racing, and the swing arm from the 350. So you kind of get in the bits part here.
Yeah.
And then there's the custom parts. And so it's got some KZ650 pistons in it. Beats me. Electrics. So it's a total loss system. You have a battery. It's got no starter. It's got no alternator. It's a race bike. So they went for clearance and lightness and all that.
So to back up to the pistons, because now you got me interested. So if they're from a KZ650...
Well, two of them were.
Exactly. The KZ would have been a 4-cylinder.
Yeah.
This is a 250cc, so you take two of those pistons.
You got 325.
Yeah.
I don't know the mismatch here, what's going on.
Depending on bore, stroke, all kinds of stuff.
Well, it also depends on the guy selling this to, this is the story that he'd given, right? So, I don't know. I wrote it in Las Vegas, they have a big parking lot, so I was ripping around there. Got some movies to prove it. And it's interesting. Yeah, it's 250 cc's, so it's not going to pull your cheeks off or anything. but very fun, loud. This is straight, no baffles or anything, right? Kind of a megaphone thing. So it's been ported and polished, 50% more volume and increased velocity over the stock oil pump high volume, custom rolled cones. So it weighs 251 pounds.
Wow.
Originally 275. Short twin leading shoe brake up front here. 18-inch polished rims. AirTech tank for a CR110. This is from AirTech as well.
Just before you go on, the tank is amazing, and
it's strapped down.
Yeah, I'll see if I can do some video on this. But in terms of styling, what a great style design.
Yeah.
That tank is so long, so narrow.
This is a stretch.
It's just,
like you might not be able to reach.
I'll bet. Yeah, it would be a stretch.
Yeah, you'd be sitting on the back of the tank there a bit.
Yeah. Very nice.
So I thought it was a pretty nice looking bike, made a good deal with them, and then I had them paint it. And I like the MV Agusta red and silver combination, but I wanted the red wing for Honda.
Right.
So I reversed it with silver and red. So the red wing would show on the silver tank.
Right.
And then I mocked up about 6 different styles. I did a little program, kind of took the picture and all sorts of different stuff, and settled on this red silver color with the black band separating it, and then the stripe down the back and the front here. And then, so that's the red and silver, and then the decals I just bought because they look racy, the Champion, the Shoei, the Moto, HRC, that sort of thing. And then the number 16, I put that on all my bikes, even my car.
I noticed everything says 16 on it.
It's in homage to the Paul Smart Ducati 750, the Amola 250 on in 1972. And that's number 16. So I put it on my vehicles and stuff. And I also like tire stickers. I like the NASCAR. When they're going slow into the pits, they look really cool. Nobody has them, right? Yeah. And this is modern rubber. This is not vintage rubber.
Right.
So this is Road Rider Avons, front and back. Right. Put a tube in them, and then you can get them to make up stickers or whatever you want. In this case, it's the original Avon lettering, and you measure the diameter of your tire and how big you want them, the center line to everything, and then they come as a little glue-on thing with a transfer sheet, so they're all aligned perfectly. You just glue them, you stick them on, and they stay on forever.
Wow.
So I've got them on probably half the bikes or so. I've got some others printed. I just haven't decided if I'm going to put them on yet.
Okay.
Yeah, so I think they make them look racy.
Well, I told you, I've been looking to see what you can do. I've seen the stuff, but I didn't know where people were getting it, and I didn't know how well
you could have your name on there.
And
no, you could have your name right on the rim.
We don't need to do that.
I put them on here. See, it looks like a racer. See, it's Kevin there.
Yeah.
It sort of shows that, it's your bike. It's kind of conceited, I think, but they're nonetheless. And I always try to put on Canadian flags.
Yes.
Oh, it's missing one on that side. It's on this side. I didn't realize that.
There you go.
I got one at the back.
No Canadian.
Oh, it's on this one here then, the back of the Ducati.
Yes. There it is. There.
Yeah. I have it the V-Strom, and the other, I try to fly the flag, so to speak. Yeah.
So how long have you owned this one?
I say about 6 years. Yeah. You can't ride it in the street legally. So it's kind of a midnight thing. We're in an industrial area here. But since it's wound up here, it's not going on the road.
No, and it's
too much work to get it down 26 steps.
Yeah, it's a nice piece to have. It just
it's cute.
Some things just need to be preserved, just kept the way they are.
Yeah, there's two thoughts, right? Ride them, don't hide them, kind of thing. And the other one, trailer queens or like choppers. Can't ride them very far. If you want to go somewhere, you got to put them in a trailer and take them somewhere to ride. Right?
Nice shot, buddy.
Well, facts are facts. This you couldn't ride very far. The Ducati downstairs you couldn't. This one you can't ride very far.
Yeah. Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah. No,
right
so
on.
that's
beautiful
kind
piece.
Kind of the idea. I don't know if there's much else to say because I didn't do any of these little pink hands. Didn't really do any wrenching on this thing.
Right. But no, it's
pretty.
What's the word I'm looking for? Just the history of it, and the fact that I imagine it was raced compete. Like this.
Yes.
Yeah. So just to have that heritage, to have that is really good.
Yeah.
Great. Well, let's switch the camera around here and move over to the Ducati. All right, we got the camera moved over to the other side of the room here, and I have no idea what to tell you about this bike. I'm just going to turn it over to Kevin and say, tell us what the heck is going on here.
Well, I think, try to remember the year, probably like 12 years ago in Cycle, they did a write-up of a guy who had 250 Monza Ducati, single cylinder kind of thing. And he'd cafe'd it and used a gas tank from a Benelli 260 and had cut the swing arm off and built a new one with an arch, the frame, built an arch as opposed to a straight line.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and that bike, it just spoke to me like crazy. And he'd also had laser cut a little badge where the Ducati sign was on the tank, where the Benelli sign was on the tank.
Right.
I said, oh, geez. And I don't know, about a year and a half later, I was at Anderworks here in town, the local BMW guys for old BMWs. And he had a 1967 350 Sebring there that he took in payment because a customer couldn't pay him. And so I bought it off of him for $950. Had a seized engine. So it's a 1967 Ducati 350 Sebring. Quite a bit different bike. Little riser bars, long banana seat, all that sort of stuff. And so I set out to use those three elements, style elements, the tank, the badge, and the frame to make my own. But I wanted it to be more powerful, bigger, and more racy. And so he called his Cafe Americano. That's what he had with the thing. Yeah. So I built Cafe Canadiano. So that's what it says here on the badge, Cafe Canadiano.
Yeah.
With Ducati Servicio little badge they have, the sign.
Right.
That's their sign that they used to have. So I designed that up and had that cut out at Laser Equations, and then. Okay. So the tank. I'm not sure what year it is. It's mid 60s, early 60s, 260. I found one on eBay, bought it. It came up, perfect NOS, brand new. Had the stickers on. I said, oh, I can't do anything to this thing. It's too nice. So it's downstairs on the wall.
Oh, okay.
So I found another one that had some scorch paint and stuff.
Right.
And so that's what this one here became. And so the idea was to make it a little more racy. Now, I did the cosmetics on this, and I'll tell you kind of about that. Did very little mechanical work because I can't weld. I can weld now, I took a course.
Yes.
But Trillion here in town, Derek Paletto, did the frame modifications and built the parts, a lot of the parts here. So, it was a process. I mean, by the time I started to finish, probably 5 years. It takes money, takes time. You gotta wait for parts, you gotta whatever, you forget about it, you get back on it.
What about the engine work? Who did the
so the engine was seized, and that's difficult to get a piston out of there. So I met this guy, Derek I have to think of his name here. And he has a Ducati 900. He's a machinist plus a, what's the other trade? It's machinist.
Millwright?
Millwright. He was both. Okay. So I had a real good feeling. And he rebuilt the engine. And I'd had it, I like the black cylinder, like the old style from the 60s kind of black cylinder. So I had that. So I had to get bored out because it was seized and different piston. And so I had that powder coated. That I'd consolidated compressor, rid their blasting boost. And I blasted the whole thing except for the side covers, clean it up. Then I had it powder coated to clear all the parts that aren't polished.
Oh, okay.
And just so that dust and dirt wouldn't stick to it.
Yeah.
And then on the gazer panel here and the side covers, polished those up. So it had that sort of a little bling.
Did you do that yourself?
That's a really ugly job to polish. I've done little stuff.
Isn't it though?
Found a guy.
There you go.
Yeah. So he did all the polishing. Basically, it's just the motor here, right? The side panels, the cover here for the points, the gazer, and both sides. That's about it. So then we had an engine, and Derek modified the frame, told him what I wanted. He had the pictures of that. And the guy who did that bike originally at Cycle World was Cycle World? Cycle
World.
I think it was.
Yeah.
Dave Hartleap, that was the guy. He had 2 of these that he made. Anyways, so Derek built the hoop for the back here and this, and then I drew this out a frame to scale, and he actually bent this out of metal.
Okay.
Hump here, and that hides the battery and stuff in there. And then I went whole hog. These are Works Performance shocks, set for the geometry of the bike and my weight. And these are real reservoir shocks, not like the Japanese knockoffs I have on that other bike down there. Right. These were real. And I thought, for racy, we need to strengthen the swing arm, so we trellised the swing arm.
Right.
Here's the straight part, and he added this.
Yeah.
Because again, for stiffness.
Yeah.
And then I'd been in Europe, and I brought back some euros. So this is a €1 coin, and it's Leonardo da Vinci's Vitruvian Man. And he made just a little plate that would fit in there, and so it's the cover for the swing arm pivot there.
Very good.
So that's kind of good. And then this is, what's that gal's name that does the seats here in town? Anyways, found her, just had a little...
Around 12th Street?
No, down Deer Run.
Oh, I know.
Yeah, I forget, I have to look her up. So she made this seat, it's kind of like kangaroo, and then this is a plasticky, kind of a carbon fibery kind of looking thing.
Right.
So my whole idea with this was modern retro. And that's why it's an MR, modern retro, 348, right? So Ducati, I traced the Ducati numbers off of the 998 or the 847, 48 or whatever. Right. And made this into a 348, chopping parts of the 8 off. Had these stickers made up of a guy I use. And because they're all like 748, 998, that sort of thing. They have that. So I went for the MR 348. And so modern retro, like it's got old aspects, but it's got new because it's got keyless ignition. No key, you just put your key fob down there and it activates everything.
Right. So you said that's an M-lock? Did I read that somewhere?
Yeah, probably is. M-lock.
So does this have a Moto Gadget wiring brain in it? No.
No, Derek actually wired it. Well, his buddy Bob did. Okay. He does a lot of custom wiring here in town.
Yep.
And then micro switches here for the horn and lights, high and low, that sort of thing.
Those are really nice.
Little tiny, they're really sexy, right?
Yeah, those are really good.
Those are, they fit really nice in the clip-ons, and that.
Is that an indicator?
Yes.
Okay, that's an indicator. Those.
Yeah.
Yeah, those are sexy. I like that.
Very simple. I wanted it simple. The less wires you see, the less cables you see. That's why you don't have a speedo cable anywhere. I got this, it's for a 10-speed, like a bicycle. It's just got a little magnet that clicks around there.
Yep.
And that's it for the speedometer.
And then this coming out of here is actually your wiring, I
Yes.
take it.
Yeah,
Okay.
pops right out of the end of the clip-ons.
And looks just like a brake cable or a throttle cable.
And
Very
then
nice.
on the other side, there's a little cover that looks like this. This has the Ducati emblem, and that's where you can set, I think it's the timing
Okay.
on the side.
Yeah.
And so put that in a hinge, and that's where you charge it, battery tender.
Very good.
Kind of a little
Very
hidden
good.
thing. Now, back in '67, they didn't have signal lights, so you didn't have to have signal lights on it.
Right.
But you have to have a brake light. And I like the 50s rocket ships, pointy things, Fireball XL5 kind of stuff. So I bought these little bullet LED lights, and then Derek mounted them and made them into this 4
Right. I noticed
bullets.
that at the back. Yeah.
Yeah,
Very
they don't have to wink. Don't need signal lights, right? So
Right.
it's just brake light. And then the front had all covers over the springs and stuff. And so I got rid of those so you could see. The forks were all corroded, so I had them ground. There's a place off McLeod. A guy ground down and coated them,
Oh,
the
okay.
forks. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then,
What do they call that? Hard chrome or
yeah,
something?
something like that.
Yeah.
I think you're right, yeah.
Yeah.
And then a headlight, and then I put a modern LED kind of bulb back
Right.
10, 15 years ago, whatever it was. It's kind of long and tower. It looks like a tower, eh?
Yep. Yep.
Yeah. And then modern rubber, again Avon. But I wanted the letters, and I didn't know about tire stickers back at that time. So there was a place in Iceland, this guy, I read it in one of these motorcycle magazines, you could buy the white paint
Yes.
for rubber. So I did that. And they used to be white. Now they're kind of, and so tiny, I just painted the Avon.
Now they're kind of yellow.
Yeah. So when it was new, when that was, hey there. So
Oh, sorry about that, folks. Another
Overhead door
repair
knock.
question. Yeah. So you were talking about white paint on the tires.
yeah, it turned out that it took a while to get from Iceland, a little thing like this. It looked good for a year or two, but they're too tiny. They need to be larger,
Yes.
right? But when it was new like that, I took a picture of it and I sent it to Avon, and then it was on their website of the 10 bikes that they featured with Avon tires.
Oh, nice.
So that was kind of cool.
Cool. Good stuff.
Yeah, and so that's the modern rubber. We got some decals and pretty
Now,
stuff.
I notice on this one, it does have a plate.
Yes,
So
It's registered.
Have you taken it out? This one
limited.
occasionally? Yeah.
Very, yeah. These old Ducati singles with the beveled drive, hairpin springs, not coil springs for the valves. So here looks like clothespin.
Yeah.
Clothespin springs. It's really hard to start and figure out the process. I've met a couple guys that said, here's how you got to do it. I know how to contact them, but it was one of those ones where I wasn't sure if I was going to be able to get it registered and everything, because then they'd have to do a safety inspection and all that. And I actually got it registered. So I went for the 348 plate.
Right.
Now I have it. I got to cancel that actually. I just about 3 months ago got antique plates for it. So if you don't know what that means, the regular plate, you spend $58 every year to have it registered, road tax basically.
Right.
Vintage antique plate, you spend $50 with a $10 discount, so $40 once, and it's forever. It's continuous, so I never have to pay for registration again.
Nice.
Because it's not riding.
How old do they have to be to do that?
25.
Oh, okay.
I think it's 25.
Yeah.
But in fairness, with that plate, you could only use it for club events. You can't go get groceries in it. You can't go on a ride just for yourself. It's supposed to be, club events and parades and show and shines and basic stuff. Yeah. You're not supposed to speed either, but people do, right?
These things happen.
Might slip into it and stuff. So the
exhaust, did you do the exhaust?
It's just, no, Derek just bent that.
Okay.
And then I like the wrapped exhaust.
Yep.
So I watched about 6 YouTube videos on how to do that, because everyone has a different way.
That one's very nicely done.
I'm pretty good at it, as it turns out.
Yeah.
The trick
you can
is,
do that for a living if you get tired of what you're doing. Yeah.
Yeah, you see so much of it. Trick is you got to soak it in water first, and then you wring it out like a cloth so it's damp. And then when you start it up, you can stretch it a bit. So when it dries, it shrinks.
Right.
Yeah, so I've got it in 3 of the bikes. So maybe 4? Yeah. 4, that one as well. This is kind of a titanium color apparently. And this one hasn't got any coating on it. It's smooth. You get some of the cheaper ones, like I have on that one bike, and it's very spiky. You have to spray a silicone on it or something.
Right.
And that. So yeah, the pipe is just the pipe. And then got the rear sets on there. And yeah, not a lot of magic after that. It's just that it's another one of those sort of super uncomfortable kind of things, right?
And did I read this one has aluminum wheels?
Yeah, these are XL rims. Had them polished, but then when they polish them, they get rid of the XL symbol. This one has the XL on them down there.
Yep.
So I just made some stickers up because I thought they looked real cool on Dave Hartleap's bike that he did.
Yeah.
Then I had, bought the stainless steel spokes or whatever. The hubs are polished. You can see that.
They sure
That's
are.
part of that whole polishing.
That front wheel is beautiful.
Yeah, it looks pretty cool,
goodness.
doesn't it? Yeah.
I mean, the whole bike is exceptional, but that front
So
wheel
when this was in, where was it? I forget. Somehow Greg Williams, who writes the automotive motorcycle stuff in the Calgary Herald, he got wind of it and he contacted me and said, hey, you'd like to do a little write-up on it. So we did. And that was for Motorcycle Mojo. It's a Canadian motorcycle magazine.
Right.
So I think it was, I'm not sure what year, 2016? Yeah, they had like a 6-page kind of little spread about it. I had Derek's friend, Curtis, who works with him. He's a welder, but he also does lifestyle photography, adventure stuff, very good. He did all the photographs of the bike in my garage with a little backdrop. I wanted to do that because I wanted the pictures, that I wanted to keep copyright of them.
Right.
So those ones, the Motorcycle Mojo threw me some money to pay for those.
Excellent.
And then these bike magazines are always looking for content.
Yes.
Always looking for content, So if you can write something decent and it's kind of pretty, or a good tale, they put it in there. Yeah, so this one hasn't, it's a kind of the first IFK custom show. Number 1, they had number 10, the last one.
Yeah. So ill-fated customs, the Kickstart show.
Kickstart show, yeah. They accepted it. It was entered. It was the first one, a hangar out in Springbank.
Oh, way back then.
Yeah, that was the very first show out there. Yeah.
Nice. Very good, sir.
So, bit of lineage there, but...
And of course it has your 16 on it.
Has the 16 on it there, plus, again, the little conceitedness, I guess, with the... Sort of like the rider's name when you're MotoGP, right?
Yeah.
Nothing like that. My knees don't get close to the ground. I do use the entire tire, though. The chicken strips are like 1/4 of an inch, but we're not hanging out.
Good.
Yeah.
Good. Well, that's great. I think what we're going to do, we're going to wrap this one up. Hey, thanks for joining us. I hope you enjoyed this. Don't forget, we're on Instagram. You can follow and like on Instagram. We're on podcast platforms. We're on YouTube. Subscribe, comment, give us a thumbs up, all that kind of stuff. Speed and Kolor. Kolor is Kolor. We're going to take the stuff downstairs and see if we can't get another episode recorded while I'm here. Want to say thank you, Kevin.
Oh,
really love your shop.
Excellent.
And all your stuff, and
keeps me out of the pool halls.
Yeah, this is great, and hopefully we'll see Kevin back maybe in a couple of weeks. All right, thanks very much. Take care. We'll see you soon.